the one, the only Benzion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Sotah daf Gimel number 3. I want to talk today about Sotah. Here's Masechah Sotah. Daf Gimel ben Aleph. About 10 lines down. Tana de Rishmol. Mnei Mahimina Torah Eidachad B'Sotah. Shargai Mudavar Sharkina Lav Nisra Veidachad Meida Sheetz Meya. It's a very strange, cryptic line in the Gemara. Right? The Gemara yesterday in that base says the reason one aid is Neman, right? If you have two aidim that saw the husband warner, two aidim that saw her secluded, and one aid sees the actual bia, they saw the actual bia, she's asura to her husband. Normally, like the Gemara says at the end of the Daf Gimel base, right? If there's no kinoi there, you need two aidim to aser a woman to say she committed adultery. Here, one aid suffices if you have kinoi and stira in the first place. So the problem is, Rabbi Shmuel is saying the reason. The reason is raglayim ladavar. It's an assumption. We can make an assumption. There was kinoi, and then there was stira, and then there was eid echad betuma. So raglayim ladavar. I'll explain in a second what that means. So therefore, it's an assumption. We can assume that she was nitma. But the Gemara said yesterday, it's a drasha. Ve'eid ein ba. And the Gemara says the a usually means two. There's no two witnesses. One witness. And one witness suffices. What are you telling me? A drasha, right? The Gemara elsewhere has machlokas between Rabbi Shmuel and the Rabbanan. Between Rabbi Shimon and the Rabbanan, whether Darshin and time with the Kra. If the Torah doesn't tell you a reason, but you figure out, this is what the Torah said this, right? You can't take something, you can't take a mashkon from an almana, right? A woman is a widow, you can't take collateral from her, right? So according to Rabbi Shimon, that's only talking when she's very poor, right? Almanas have no money. But if she's Ashira, you could take a mashkon. The Rabbanan say, no, you can never take a mashkon. We don't Darshin and time with the Kra. What's Rabbi Shmuel saying over here? As my Rebbe told me the name of Rabbi Wasserman, when we learn Gemara, we don't ask why, we ask what. So what's Rabbi Shmuel doing over here? The Torah told you what. Made a drasha. Why are you telling me this over here? So first of all, let's explain what this line of the Gemara means. What is Rabbi Shmuel telling you over here? Now, normally, the Gemara says, at the end of Gimel and Beis, if there's no kinam mitzvah, you need two edim, davar. Mimamo, we learn from Dini Mammon, you need a proof. Also, for adultery, which is severe, right? Gittin and Kiddushin are severe. The reason Gittin and Kiddushin are severe is because, right, if adultery is committed, so it can be chayav misa. It's potentially involving chayav misa, right? If some woman who, is married to a man, doesn't have a get, she lives with another man, right? We can possibly involve the woman being killed. So it's more severe than regular Isser v'heter. It's not just regular Isser v'heter. Isser v'heter, the Gemara says, Eid echad nema b'yisurin. Eid echad is believed by Yisurin. We just rely on Chazaka. We had at the end of Masechtas Nazir, many Mishnayos, we're talking about Tumah V'tara. Tumah V'tara is even more makel than Isser v'heter. Isser v'heter has facts in this world. Tumah V'tara is some metaphysical state where you have simanim. You don't have siba, you have simanim that tell you the person is tummy, but there's no proof to it. So of course, raglayim l'davar, you rely on Chazaka. What does it mean over here, raglayim l'davar? So I don't think it means that it's an assumption. It's like a chazaka, because Eid Echad is not neman by arayos, right? Davar mimamon. It must be the fact that one aid creates a chazaka. Eid Echad neman b'yisur, and it creates a chazaka, an assumption. I like to say a chazaka is 75% proof. Normally, if you did you need 80% proof, right? Not full proof. Two eidim is not a complete proof. They could be lying. But the reason two eidim are believed is like, alcohol, 40% by alcohol is considered 80 proof. That's standard alcohol. Standard scotch or whiskey is going to be 80 proof. 80% is proof. So chazak is less than that. However, one aid, just like Eid Echad Meisur, and one aid sees and claims that she was nitma, she committed adultery, that's a chazaka. That's raglayim l'davar. Now you combine that with the fact there was kinoim and sira preceding that, according to Rabbi Shul, with two eidim in both cases, both for the kinoim and both for the sira. So that's like a double chazaka. It's an assumption, like sveka. Sveka works, right, by Isser, because 50% plus 25%, 79%. So 79% is effective by Isurim to answer something, sveka. So here, when it comes to, you need 80%, so you have the chazaka. Eid echad betuma, without the kingdom of stira, is raglayim l'davar. That's what the Gemara means. Plus the kingdom of stira is like another raglayim l'davar. So you have at least 80% proof, maybe even more. And that's why she's hasura to her husband forever. And now the question, getting back to why does Rabbi Shmuel give you a reason for what the Torah is saying? So this is my personal opinion. Even though there's a machlokas elsewhere between Reb Shimon and the Rabbanan, whether we're Darshina and Time or Lakra, that's only in terms of like the Mefarshim say, in terms of making nafkaminas, meaning like he says over there, Shimon says, what's the reason the Torah says don't take a mashka for an almana? Is because she's poor, right? If she's rich, you could take a mashka. Here, the Torah, Rabbi Shmuel is not doing that. Rabbi Shmuel is just telling you to help you understand what's going on in the Torah. So, do you help you understand what's going on in the Torah? That's not necessarily following Rabbi Shimon over there. It could be according to the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan agree also that the Torah is based on something, right? It's important to understand the reasons of the Torah. When Rav Chanan Wasserman said, don't ask why when we learn the Gemara, I don't think that's right. Rabbi Shmuel tells you why. You should try to figure out the understanding of the Torah. And even though you shouldn't, according to Rabbi Shimon, well, how we pass on Rabbi Shimon and the Rabbanan, I'm not going to get into it, but we'll pass on Rabbi Shimon and the Rabbanan. But according to the Rabbanan, you're not supposed to be nafkaminas based on the way you understand the Svar in the Torah. That's only because it's not clear, right, what the reason. Rabbi Shimon says it's because she's poor. How do you know it's because she's poor, the Rabbanan say? But if everyone understands the reason very clearly, and it's very evident, you can prove that's probably the reason the Torah says it, so then everyone agree you could make nafkaminas based on that. Even the Rabbanan agree, it's just when it's not clear. Right? Who's to say the reason that you can't take her almana is because she's nebach, she has no money? Maybe her husband left a nice estate. So that's the reason. But when the reason is clear, like Rabbi Shmuel is explaining, not only important to find out what, but you can even make nafkaminas when that's apparently the correct reasoning of the Torah. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.